Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So hi. Good evening again, everybody. Hope everybody is having a good day so far. Thank you again for joining. I'll just mute everyone so that we can get through the presentation here smoothly. 1 minute. Okay. Thank you again for all your participation. We have quite a big group here, so welcome everyone. Welcome our friends from other markets other than Indonesia. Um, Today we have the privilege of having Tommy. Tommy is our ambassador for the past 3 years. Benar ya Tom? 3 years ya. Hey, you gotta unmute. Sorry. Wait. Where is he? Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So you've
Hi,
been with
Bernard.
you've been with us for 3 years.
Since 2016, yeah. So
Running
going
4
on
years.
4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
running 4 years.
So today Tommy will share a little bit of his projects. He's shooting from a distance project. This is actually the first of such sessions that we have. Again, thank you again for your participation. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. We'll address it as we go along. Other than that, have a good session, Tommy. Thank you, and you can take over now. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone's well. Thank you, Pak Bernard and Jacqueline, for this opportunity. Firstly, maybe I'll introduce myself, just in case some of you don't know me yet. But I think I've seen a lot of familiar names and faces, so good to see you all again. Well, I started taking photos since I was 12 because my dad's friend come to our house and he teaches photography. And then I moved to the States, to the US, and it becomes a hobby until now. But my studies was, my bachelor's was in business, Bachelor of Commerce, and my master's was also in business, Master of International Business, International Trade. But my photography has always been with me. You know, it's a passion. I fell in love with it since I was 12. So in 2004, I returned to the country, to Jakarta, and I started my studio. So it becomes a profession since 2004. So that was like 16 years ago. And fast forward to 2016, I became one of the Leica ambassadors, which I'm very grateful and very honored. And I still am right now in 2020. Talking about the theme, shooting from a distance, I first came up with it because the first couple of weeks of quarantine, you know, as a photographer, you probably think, you know, what do? You know, we're supposed to stay home, you know, we can't get out. So what I did was I shoot things around the house, you know, I clean up my camera, my lenses, and also my hard disk, you know, like I suggested that to a few of my friends, you know, my photographer friends. Maybe it's time for us to do some cleaning on our hard disk and reorganize as well. So maybe the first couple of weeks of quarantine, that's what we did. But then as a photographer, because the quarantine actually extended for so long. Now I've been home for over 1.5 months, and after a couple of weeks, like we want to challenge ourselves again, and we want to start shooting again. Like we're bored shooting around the house. So when we do the Zoom meeting, work from home or get in touch with friends and family, I started to think, maybe we can shoot each other, from the screen. So because my specialty and my interest is in portraitures, in particular is in black and white portraiture. So I decided to come up with a concept of taking photos, portraitures, through Zoom meetings, because portrait is something that is intimate, like it's a one-on-one interaction, and you capture them in black and white. So I thought Zoom is also an intimate way of communicating, because you're talking one-on-one to the person, normally, unless it's in a big group. So I decided to come up with a list of people that I would like to take photos of, and I contacted them, and we set the schedule. And my concept is not just capturing the screen, as like a screen capture, or taking photo of the screen. It's more of a storytelling. So later on, after we finish this pandemic, when you look at the photo, you can tell the story of someone who's in the comfort of their house is taking their photo by me, who's in the comfort of my house. So what I did is set up a few things on my table, and I not just capturing the screen, but I also capture the surrounding. Maybe Jack can start the slideshow as we talk. Okay, this is she was one of my first one, Diane. I contacted her and explained to her the concept of she hasn't done any of the virtual shooting before, and I had to explain to her the medium and everything. Basically, they just have to have a really good selfie um, camera. So it could be iPad or their phone or laptop. So just make sure the person has chosen the better one. And also the lighting around it has to be good, because what we see is what they see is what we can capture. So we cannot change whatever image it is that they send by because of our camera or our lens. It doesn't matter. So what matters is what the image that they send. Okay, you can next one, Jeb.
Sorry, just to let everybody know, Kana, because we have some participants which is not in Indonesia. The previous actress, Dian Sastrowardoyo, she's one of the most celebrated actresses in Indonesia, and she has like a follower of more than 6 million in her Instagram. So thank you. Just wanted to explain the profile of these people.
Yeah.
It will be helpful, I think. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So when I posted that, and when she posted that as well, so it because I wanna inspire people to do this as well. Hobbyists or other photographers, if they haven't done so, because I started this project early April, when I first came up with it and came up with the list and everything. Because people are bored at home, they don't know what to do. Like this is one of the things that people can do. But photography is an art form. I thought if you just capture the screen, it's not really challenging. So what I did is, as I said, I put things around my house so I can make my camera and my lens to work, because otherwise you cannot create the illusion of foreground and background. Maybe next one, Jack. Okay, with photography, especially if you're familiar with your lenses, you want to create the illusion of depth. Okay, so if you don't have a foreground and background, you cannot create that illusion by just capturing the screen. What some people didn't comprehend at first is that we cannot change the depth of the image that they send. Like this one is of Nicholas Saputra. He's an actor as well in Indonesia, at his house. So whatever image that he's sending, we cannot change the depth of it. Like we cannot make the leaves blur, like bokeh. We cannot change that because the image that he's sending is in two-dimensional. Maybe at first when you haven't tried this approach before, trial and error, you think that, okay, if I use my lens wide open, I can make the image blur. Even the person you're talking to, taking the photo, maybe they say, okay, can you make my background blur? Well, it's not possible because the image that they're sending is already flattened. It's in 2D. So if we just capture the screen, then there's no illusion of foreground and background. That's why I make sure that behind my iPad and in front of my iPad, I have things surrounding to make that illusion of depth, of foreground and background. So if you want to try this, I suggest you try with things around the screen as well, around the house. What I did as well is that I make sure that each one that I'm taking photo of, I put a little item that reminds me of the person I'm shooting. Like this one of Nico, I put that's my dad's, my late dad's Leica M2. I put there because Nicholas recently joined us as one of the, what do you call it, Pak Bernard, friends of Leica.
Yeah, friend of the brand.
In Indonesia. Friend of the brand. So I thought that would remind me of him. Okay, next one is yeah, this is the same as well. Some people, I think it's best if it's a portrait because the image that we can capture is clearer if it's just mid to close up, because if it's too far, like a fashion full body or whatever, I think with the screen, it might not come up too good, and they cannot really control what they see on their screen, if they're too far from it, and it's hard to communicate with them. So the first thing that is really important is signal. The signal has to be strong, so the image is sharp. Secondly, is the lighting. So the light has to be really nice. Otherwise, it will switch into a night mode and it will be like pixelated and grainy from there. And so if the light is good and then the signal, the Wi-Fi, make sure it's a Wi-Fi signal, then the image is also sharp. But also make sure that they're not moving too fast, because then the image will be like blurred and ghosting, that ghosting effect, unless you want that to be part of your what do you call it, your theme, like the ghosting, like the concept. Maybe like if the face is you freeze the face, so they don't move, but then they move the hand, so I have the ghosting effect or whatever. You can be as creative as you want, but just make sure those two, the lighting is good, well controlled, and also the signal is strong. Okay, next one, Jack. Thank you. Okay, with portraiture, you know, it's like I said, it's intimate and it's natural, and it's honest and it's connected. So what I did in this project is I made sure that that the person that I spoke to is connected first, and then we start taking the photos, because I wanted to be natural, and that's why I stuck to black and white, because black and white capture the essence of the person you're taking, so it doesn't get distracted by the color surroundings and the colors at their end or anything. So it focuses on your connection with the person that you're talking to. And also I'm planning to have a mini exhibition after this pandemic, so when people look at the photos, they can get connected as well to the people that I shot. And I asked them each 3 questions of the quarantine. The first one is, how are you coping with this quarantine? Secondly, second question is, what will you do after this quarantine is over? What's the first thing that you will do? And third is, what advice can you give to people out there to cope with this quarantine? And I put that all in the caption of the photo I posted. So when people look at the photos and look at their answers, I'm hoping that they can feel connected to the person, you know, like not just from the images, the visual, but also from the answers of the questions, because different people have different, and that's how we get to know them. Okay, next, Jack. Yeah. So basically, they're all almost the same setup, but just different things that remind you of the person you're shooting. Like this one is of Julia Stiles, is half French. It's a friend. And so I found things around the house that I could put around the table that reminds me of her. And some of the things are memorabilia I got from France. Next one, Jack. And this is also of my friend Gading. When I first started this concept, he contacted me because he's really interested in photography as well, and he's a good photographer. He's got a really good eye, and he said, "Oh, you know, I want to do this as well. You know, like maybe I can use the same hashtag, shooting from a distance." I said, "Sure." Because that's my point, you know, like I want the hashtag shooting from a distance to be used to by everyone, you know, photographers and hobbyists, so we can see each other's work, and you know, like we can get through this quarantine while remaining creative, you know, like because if you're creative in the creative industry and you're stuck at home, sometimes at first you think, you know, like, oh, you know, it's like imprisonment, you know, like you're stuck in your house. But now you can start thinking the other way. You know, you can start thinking of finding things that can be creative and you can share around in social media as well. You can keep going, Jack. Maybe I can answer some questions as well.
Okay, we have a few.
While the slide comes.
Well, a few. It says, what camera is he using? What camera are you using, Tom? Terus, question from Fajeri. Who set up the props? Do they symbolize the character you portray? You want to answer those first, or
Who's what was that from Pajeri?
who's who set up the props? Do they symbolize the character you portray?
Oh, okay, okay. The first one, the camera I use is like a cell with the lens I use is a Sumilux 50 millimeter f1.4, and I use that wide open because, as I said, to create the illusion of depth for the foreground and the background. And for the props, I set it myself. I look at the list of people, and I look at the things around the house that I can find, just a touch, just something subtle that portray the character of each person that I'm shooting. Maybe the
So
slide can keep going then.
So it does symbolize the character that you portray.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Another question.
Like this one,
which time do you prefer to do the photo shoot? Which time of the day do you prefer to do the photo shoot?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, that's a good question. Because you need good light around your props as well, around your foreground and background. So my time to shoot is between 1 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's when the light usually is best. So the window is only from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Otherwise, you have to shoot indoors, and then you have the problems with lighting unless you use artificial lighting. But I want to keep this natural. Therefore, I shoot it outside and near my garden, the table near my garden.
Okay. If a person,
like this slide is my friend. Yeah, this is an actor as well, Lukman Sardi. He enjoys photography as well, and he has traveled with me to Nepal last year as well. And one of the things I could find is one of those film clappers that I got. So it's just a touch of things that, subtle things that reminds me of the person. What was that, Papanat? Sorry.
If the person is someone you don't really know, how to make them relax, or maybe someone not used to be taken pictures of.
Okay. Well, usually the first few minutes, you spend time talking to the person, especially if you don't know them. Maybe you can chat with them first, and then through the video call, you also talk to them first, and just to get the sense of the angle and also the gestures of the person that is best that you take photo of. So I suggest that you interact with the person, maybe for a few minutes, just make sure that they're relaxed. And also, one of the things that I learned, because photography is a continuous learning. I'm still learning as well right now, new things every day. Is that your reaction to result also makes a difference, because they're looking at you best to keep saying encouragement words, like that it's good, that you like it. And even though you haven't found the right angle or the right shot yet, I don't think that it should show in your, you got to keep a good poker face, I suppose.
Facial expression. Okay. So for these poses, do you encourage them? Do you tell them how to pose, or you let them do it freely, and you talk to them as you go along,
okay,
or it's more natural?
With portraits, you want to capture the person that you're shooting. So we want their real character to come out. So I think it's best if it's not too posed, like too much of you telling them what to do, but you you let them freely, you know, move and express themselves as you capture them. But then you can also direct, you know, like direct which way to turn or which where to look. I think just subtle direction. But in portraiture, I think it's best if you capture the essence of the person, and it will come out after a few shots. You know, like as I said, after you spend time talking to them, and then you spend time shooting them the first few minutes. I'm sure that you'll be able to capture their essence.
Okay, thank you. Then there was another question, I think, which you answered. Which lens do you use mostly?
Next slide. Yeah, for this shoot, I used the 50mm Summilux f1.4. Okay. I use it for all of this virtual shooting, the shooting from a distance. At first, I did trial and error. My favorite lens is the Noctilux. It's the f0.95 Leica's lens. But then shooting this, I don't recommend it because the focus point is very, very thin. So for this particular shoot, I think that it'll be too risky to use the Noctilux. That's why I switched to the Zoom.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next slide, Zach. Thank you. Okay, I can see this. We use additional lighting. No, as I said before, the lighting is all natural. You know, like natural from their side and not natural from my side as well. That's why it's best to shoot maybe outdoors. And I suggest to the people that I'm shooting that they have window lighting or they're in the garden or whatever, but it's natural light. Just going through some questions that we might have missed.
I think
okay.
A few questions here about the one question from Juliana and Yudanegara Oman. They were asking about the program that you are using for this. Are you using FaceTime or did you try another video conference app such as Google Skype? And which is the best apps in terms of image quality?
Yes, that's a good question. I actually just use Zoom because you can get the full screen. You can get your own image out of the way as well, and the quality is pretty good as well. So I use for all my shoot the app is Zoom. Some people said that with other apps they cannot get rid of the little box of themselves or whatever, and the image sometimes have the what do you call it? It's like a rainbow effect. But with Zoom, I think it's pretty safe. So if you want to try it with Zoom and make sure that the connection is good as well, good Wi-Fi.
There's next question. All the photos sent to you for this project are taken by themselves by camera phone? If yes, you help them posting?
Sorry, what was that, Jack?
All the photos sent to you for this project are taken by themselves by camera phone?
Oh,
if yes,
okay. Maybe so. Maybe some people think that it's an image that are sent, but it's actually live video call. So this is a live interaction of you and the subject. So it's as if you're taking a photo of them, but because of physical distancing, you use a medium of video call. So it's not. I've had this question before in my DM in Instagram. That some people think that it's an actual photo that are sent to me, and then I take a photo of the photo. Not, but this is actually a live interaction of person.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe there's one of the maybe the yeah. Thank you for the question. Maybe there's a video of one of the videos for behind the scene of my photos. Jack, do you have one? Do you have one you can show?
I don't have.
Maybe one of the ones that I've sent you.
Can we go to the next question, Tom, maybe?
Yep. Yep.
Do you screen capture first? Then you photo with your camera, or you shoot live? I think you touched on this just now, yeah, a little bit earlier. So all this is done live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100.
Okay, it's done live.
Yeah,
okay.
all this are done live.
Okay. Do you use additional lighting?
And also, no, I don't. It's all natural. So maybe when you try this approach, don't just
images
capture the screen. I know that a lot of people are tempted to just capture the screen, but as I said before, have things around the iPad or around your camera. I mean, around your phone or around your laptop. Illusion of depth, and also to make it more interesting and artistic. So yeah, like these ones. And you cannot expect that the result on the screen is as sharp and as good as if you take them with your camera. You know, when you see them directly. But that's the whole point. You know, the whole point of this theme is that you're doing a video call photo shoot. So it doesn't matter that some of the image are a bit pixelated or not as sharp, you know, but you're capturing the essence of the person, not. Yeah, it's all part of the concept. Exactly.
Okay. We have another question
there's
from
a question.
Jason.
How do you reduce the flicker? All right.
Sorry. Well, there's a question from Jason. Why not just stop down on the Noctilux instead of using the lux? Did you switch just for the smaller aperture, or is there another reason behind characteristics of lens, etc.?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, I love the 50 millimeter Leica lenses from the Noctilux, the Sumilux, and also the Apple.
Summicron.
But each of them have different characters. The Noctilux, the Summicron Apple. So first, the Noctilux the character is very dreamy, you know, artsy and dreamy. I love that. And then next up is the Sumilux f1.4. The character also still dreamy, but closer to the Apo. And Apo is the sharpest. The 50 millimeter Summicron Apo is the sharpest out of the three, and it gives the best three-dimensional image. And but also I think it's more modern, you know, like it's got that modern feel. So why did I choose the Sumilux instead? Because it's halfway, you know, like it's in between the the two lenses, the Apo and the Noctilux. So even though I stop down on if I use the Noctilux and stop it down, I think the character it's still different than the Summilux. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's another question from Nico Abdillah. What lighting do you use to capture? I think you answered that also. Mostly natural, yeah?
Yeah, mostly natural. But this doesn't stop you from exploring. You know, like maybe first explore through natural light, but then you might want to explore at nighttime as well with artificial light. So if you know the subject well, you know, you can talk to them and you can direct them. You tell them to go somewhere dark and then to get just one source of lighting. Maybe you want to do those Rembrandt lighting or whatever. You can be creative as possible, as creative as possible. You know, try different sort of lighting from their end. You know, like, but you have to direct them patiently. Because most of them are not photographers and they probably don't really understand lighting. So it's different from interacting directly, you know, like this is through a video call. So you have to be patient, make sure that they get what you're trying to do. One of them actually told me that this is very challenging. It's fun, but it's challenging because usually us, the photographers, and we have the team, you know, like maybe the lighting team or us directing them where to look. Which direction of the light. But because they are by themselves on the other side of the screen, they have to be explore that as well. You know, like usually they give you the tour of the house. You know, where is the best lighting, where's the best window. You know, and then you choose with them. But it's challenging for them as well because most of them don't know photography and they have to be able to arrange which position they face and everything.
Okay.
But that's the fun of it. But that's the fun. That's the whole
Boring.
The whole difference between taking photos directly. You know, like when you see them, then this physical distancing photo shoot. You know, like you're shooting from a distance through a screen. So when this is all over, you know, this is something to remember by, you know, like you as a photographer did this sort of photo shoot and yeah, it helps you get through.
Okay. Question from Arif. Hi, Tommy. What about the picture quality in the monitor? Because I tried to shoot with my laptop and the result is not good. Dalam kurung dia bergaris sama kotak-kotak. Is it depending on the media we use, laptop or iPad?
Yes, that's one of the challenges as well. So when you're shooting directly, when you see them directly, not screen, your only challenge is your camera and your lens, right? That's how you get the proper image. How good of an image depends on your camera and your lens. But in this sort of photo shoot, it's a different ball game. You know, like their camera, their selfie camera has to be good, all right? Our screen has to be good as well. Like you have to find the best medium as possible that you have. So whether it be your phone, you know, like your iPhone or your Android or your iPad or your laptop. So if your laptop giving you problems with the images, then maybe the display quality and the resolution it's not as good as your phone, then try using your phone because it depends on the resolution of your screen as well, how the image is captured. I know that some people might have that, you know, like rainbow effect, or like the lines. But some actually can go away when you try shooting it from a different angle, different angle of your camera, or maybe a different angle of your screen, your laptop, so I take lots of photos, and I'm sure that you will get one that you like. It is different and it is challenging, but like, have fun with it. That is a good question, actually. So your screen has to be good as well. Just find out which medium is the best that you have.
Okay. Question from Benny Aruman. Tom, how did you ensure that the visual on the iPad is sharp, was sharp?
Yes. One more thing, your screen, you can adjust the brightness, right? You can adjust the brightness of your screen. So when you're shooting, make sure that your surrounding is sort of the same, what do you call it, exposure as your screen. So if your screen is really bright, but your surrounding is a bit dark, and you're shooting, so basically what your exposure is set to the screen only, and your surrounding will be really dark. So what you want to do is test shoot of the surrounding of your exposure, and then adjust the screen to it. So it's sort of similar, the screen brightness and the surrounding brightness is sort of similar, but I would like the surrounding to be a bit darker than the screen, to have that sort of vignette effect around it.
Do you have a sample
also,
sorry, do you have a sample of a bad shot? Like when you shoot these things from a distance, these images, you don't only shoot once, right? Are there images of less than ideal results? Do you have those to share? Just so people know what it looks
yes,
like.
I think even the shots that I did with Dian, Jack, could you please go back to Dian's slide?
This one?
Yes. See, even with this, you can see that it's not perfect. Like it's see, it's a bit pixelated, right, around the face. It's not sharp. Even on her shirt, I think it's sharper than her face. Maybe because her camera, sometimes her camera, the person's camera can shift the focus, to the background or to the face, or you cannot control that. So it's something that is unique to each shoot. And also sometimes their camera phone becomes what do you call it, distorted. How the image gets longer and distorted, and then it comes back to normal again. Like it's just one of those things that that happens on their selfie cameras. So yeah, you spend a bit of time. I usually only spend time about maximum half an hour shooting, because and you can get good images just by 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, like this one, it's not perfect image. See how her background, her things there are actually sharper than her face.
The things in the bookshelf.
It's yeah, in the bookshelf. I think it's because her camera, she put it there, her camera sort of shift the focus, from her face to the bookshelf and her face. So there are moments when it's probably locked to the background instead of to her face. So, but it's okay. I mean, in photography, it's an art form where it's not about perfection and it's not about this sharpness. It's more about the storytelling. It's more about the expression of artistic view. So I think it's just fair game if it's like this. So don't be discouraged when your images are, like it's back focus or pixelated or not as sharp. It's okay. How do you tell the story of the images that you capture? Like the whole story, and how do you make it artistic? So it's because this is not an image that you want to be like 100% sharp and perfect. It's more of the story.
It's not a commercial shot.
That's a good question.
Okay, next question. Hi, Tommy. How do you reduce the flicker?
Yeah, like I said before with the flicker, I think it has to do with your screen, because each individual screens are different. So just make sure that you use the best screen that you have, whether it be your phone, your iPad, or your laptop, or even your TV. If you have a smart TV that it can get connected, maybe you can use that. Just make sure you get the best screen, because it matters. So this one is also focused to the back.
Okay. Okay, so question from Restu. So how do you think this type of shooting will progress? Will it be a trend in the future, and will it grow into other segments like media and for anything or projects maybe?
Okay. Yeah, I think for the time being, because we don't know how long this quarantine is gonna last. It's a long time. So for photographers, I think this is the best way to shoot at the moment. Definitely it's trending now, and also maybe you can start to think of ways to improve it. And even for commercial use, I actually been approached. Because people cannot have photo shoot in a studio where there's teams of people like before. So they've contacted me to use this approach to do a commercial shoot. So we're figuring out a way how to make this at its best, to maximize this approach.
Okay. Next question. Are you trying to photo without foreground and background?
Have I?
Are you trying
Is that the question, or?
Are you trying to take pictures without foreground and background?
No. See, when I came up with the concept, I did trial and error, and I think the best way I want to do it and to tell the story is with the foreground and the background, because as I said earlier, it creates the illusion of depth, because the image that they from their phone, the image that you see from them, I mean, doesn't have depth. Like this one of Nico and his house, there's no depth. You can also just play around with the composition, but then there's no depth because it's all sharp. So I want to create that illusion of depth by the making a foreground and background.
Okay. Okay.
I was just wondering how many of you have tried this the virtual shooting, and what are your thoughts, like if you've tried it and you're happy with it, or maybe some
you
of
guys
you can share that in the chat.
Can unmute and perhaps just share your experience and your problems?
Yeah, please
You
share
like
as
it?
well.
You don't like it? Anyway, as we go along, I think you just answered this question too. Do you think that this whole virtual thing can be charged professionally for your client to be? Well, I guess you are working on something now, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Why
this
do you?
is unfortunately this is the new normal, you know, like the new normal is you working from home and you be creative from home, and sometimes when we're pressured, then we start to be creative, and this is the pressure of just staying home and not leaving your house. It gives you the opportunity to come up with new ideas and new approach and make it the new normal.
Okay. Danny, please unmute yourself. You raised your hand. You can ask the question directly. Thank you. Danny? Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Tom. Finn here, Tom.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
pretty good, pretty good. Just asking, Tom. We're looking at everything in here on the screens based on the connections quality, right? So the real results that you took, is it that clear, or as you said there in the iPad, the subjects, there's going to be some kind of a distortions because of the connectivity, or is it always like crystal clear that you're looking for that moment to go to shoot the picture? Because for a half an hour, right? You're saying that you're shooting this for half an hour, and I'm assuming that connectivity is going to be an issue. Is it? Are you always looking for that particular moment that connectivity is so strong that it's very clear, or you just let it be that just pick shoot whatever it is at that period?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah, as I said that you have to make sure that you're near your Wi-Fi. I think connection is really important, and the lighting. So when you're near the Wi-Fi, hopefully that throughout the 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so that you're shooting, that the images are pretty clear. But then again, it's the same from their end. You know, they have to have a strong signal as well. But when you're shooting, and some shots are really good, you know, like you like it, but then it's not as sharp as the shot that are before. I still use it, you know, like I prefer a better what do you call it, uh, gesture or pose or expression compared to a better quality image as such, like a sharper image. So if one photo is sharp and crispy, but then the the pose, the gesture, or the expression uh, is not what I like best, I still choose the one before that is not as the image that is not as good, but then like it tells the story that I wanna show. So I think it's to me it's no problem, like about the quality, unless
Okay.
it's for commercial use. That's why when I was approached this concept for commercial use, that's when I have to think how to make sure that every shot or the shot that is necessary is sharp, it's that we can use commercially. So that's the challenge.
On purpose.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. Very clear.
Thank you, and good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Okay, there's a question from Stevie. Why do you choose using an iPad instead of laptop or computer? Is it for bigger picture?
Okay, I use the iPad because it's more flexible. I can actually turn the screen, right, to make like this, the shot of Nico, to make to make it a portrait instead of landscape. With laptop, and the computer, it's always landscape. So the iPad, one, it's more flexible. You can turn the screen. Two, this particular iPad gives a good resolution, the image of my screen. It's one of the newer iPad. So yeah, I use this a lot. But in terms of portrait mode or landscape, that depends on their screen as well. So if they're using their computer, their laptop, it's more likely to be landscape because you cannot turn it. You cannot turn it, and it wouldn't shift. So that's the thing that you have to discuss with the person that you're shooting. Do you want this all to be landscape mode, or you want it flexible, portrait and landscape? If you want it flexible, then either they use an iPad as well, or they use their phone, because with the phone you can switch in between the two modes. But with laptop and computer, it's only landscape. So that's one of the things that you need to discuss with the person you're shooting as well.
Okay. Question from Yurigo. Do you use CPL filter? Polarizing filter.
What's that, sorry?
Do you use filter, polarizing CPL filter?
Oh, filter. Oh, okay. No. I don't use filter. And also, when I shoot these black and whites, I don't convert from color to black and white, but I switch it on camera to monochrome, and I shoot it in black and white. That's one of the things that I should share as well with you guys about black and white photography. When you want it to be black and white, shoot it black and white from the start. Don't shoot color and then I'll convert it later, I'll edit it later. No, I think if your concept is black and white, I think from the start you should always shoot straight from the camera in monochrome and black and white, because the way you adjust the what do you call it? The way you adjust the shot that you're taking, the exposure. Yeah, that's the word, exposure. The way you adjust the exposure is to make sure the black and white image is nice, not the color, because it's different when you adjust exposure for black and white shots and color. Black and white is about shadow and highlight, and things in between. But it's mostly about shadow and highlight, like this, like the highlight is the lotus flower and Nico's wall, his shirt, and the shadows are within the camera and the candle holder and the background, whatever. But black and white is just about shadow and highlight. So when you look at your viewfinder and you shoot it and you see the result in black and white, you can adjust it accordingly straight away, instead of shooting in color. Is very, very different.
Okay. So question, your favorite lens? I think you answered that. So it's the 50 millimeter Sumilux, yeah?
The favorite is actually the Noctilux, but then for this particular shoot, I use this, for this project.
Okay. What is the aperture that you use mostly?
I always use wide open on my shot, especially for portraits. Unless I go out there shooting landscape, then you stop down, to 8 or 11 or 16. But for portraitures, I always use wide open, for the best depth. Yeah, wide open. Maybe I think some people want to share their experience.
Yeah, anytime anybody who wants to share, please unmute. Otherwise, we'll just carry on with the questions, because we have quite a few.
I think there is someone. I think the.
Please go ahead. Don't be shy.
Oh yeah. Or any other questions, maybe.
Shall we
I think
continue?
Pak Yuda Negara share something in the group chat.
Mana? Just wanted to share my experience doing the virtual photo shoot. One of the aspects that we cannot control apart from the network signal is the auto exposure of the model's phone camera. If the model is wearing an outfit with brightness that is contrasting with the background and or their skin, usually the phone exposure changes frequently as it attempts to get the weighted average exposure across the image, so we end up with over or underexposed face. So it is usually a better shooting experience if the model is wearing the outfit with similar brightness of their skin and or the background. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. That's interesting. So if the model is wearing outfit brightness.
Yeah, like you said, I guess sometimes
Okay.
the phone camera, they shift, right? It depends on
Yeah.
sensitiveness also.
Yeah. So with this sort of approach of a photo shoot, there's so many aspects to get a good image. You know, like a lot of aspects and challenges. Our screen, their camera, selfie camera, and the lighting condition there. So this is part of the excitement of going through quarantine. You know, like to challenge yourself and to challenge them if they don't get annoyed. You know, to get the good image. But once you get nice images, then you know you'll be happy.
Okay. I tried to do this. There's another here comment. I've tried to do this type of photo, but with WhatsApp video call. Ha ha ha. Not a good medium. Not that sharp, and it is still, and they still have a small box. I have to edit it, but it's a nice exercise. Well, again, I guess thank you for the comment. I guess it's like what you said, right? This is not a commercial shoot. I mean, the story
Yeah.
is more. The story is just as important as the image itself. As long as you have a nice story wrapping around it, you can create your own, your own style, your own
Yeah.
story. Actually, another comment here we have to share.
Because
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, because as a photographer, basically you are a storyteller. You know, like what kind of story you want to tell of this shoot.
Okay.
And I think someone asked for one of the behind the scene video. Maybe if I send it to Jacqueline, you can share it on the screen, Jack. Hang on a second. I'll send it.
Okay. There's a question from Tina. How and why did you get this idea of taking shots from a distance?
How and why? Oh, okay. Like I said, the first couple of weeks as a photographer, I started just reorganizing my hard disk, my old hard disk. You have a lot of time at home, when you have a lot of time at home, then, you start thinking of things to do. Like one of the things are reorganizing your hard disk and maybe go to your dry box and take out your lenses and your cameras, and you clean them. But then after a while, you start shooting around the house and the quarantine still goes on. Then when I start doing Zoom video chat with people, I think, why don't I take a photo of them? And I actually came up with a concept of why don't I make this a serious project, like a black and white and with props, and make a list of public figures that I would love to shoot. And it develops from that. So yeah, I think it's when you're put into a pressured situation, then you start to become more creative. Yeah, that's how it started. And I think I'll send you one of the videos. Yeah, Jack.
Okay. Through WhatsApp?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
I have another comment here, Tom. I saw other photographers doing such verso shoot or shooting from a distance. Most of them just shoot the screen, not the gadget and the foreground and the background like yours. Why do you choose to shoot with foreground and background and showing the full gadget instead of just shooting the screen only? Will you try to shoot the screen only one day?
Okay, that's a good question. Yes. So when I make the concept, I want this to be consistent, you know, like, and I did trial and errors, and I think best to tell the story of this quarantine time through this sort of approach with the foreground and the background and the little props. So it shows the screen and shows my house and it shows their house. So I think for this particular project, shooting from a distance, I wanted to be consistent like this, you know, with foreground and background. So it will tell the story and it has a red line, you know. So when I do the exhibition, then it will look consistent as well. But yes, I am planning and I have done as well shooting just the screen, just for fun, you know, like because, you know, as a photographers, you miss interacting with your subject and just shooting for fun. So I do that as well, and I still am gonna keep going doing that. But then for this particular one, I need to be consistent in the concept. I think that's one of the
Video.
behind the scene. Hang on a sec. Video. So this is my table and me interacting with Julie.
Nice.
And I can show you one with me in it as well, just to see better. Hang on a second. So I hope you guys will try this to have fun with shooting from a distance, and maybe you can tag me in Instagram so I can have a look. I'm interested to see what you guys can come up with.
Okay. There's a question asking, I saw almost your virtual photos is in black and white. Why do you do it? Is it your style or for other reasons? A few questions asking why is it more in black and white?
Oh, why is it in black and white?
Yes. Is it your
Okay,
style or are there
first,
any specific reasons?
okay, first, it's because I love black and white portraiture. As I said, you don't get distracted by colors, and you focus on the attention and the storytelling on the subject. That's number one. And secondly, I think with this sort of photo shoot, you have more problems with colors, to be honest. I think I've done trial and error, I think, with colors. If you're not careful, there'll be like the rainbow effects and color shifting, and even the white balance is not the same because it involves their white balance and your screen white balance and then your camera's white balance. So, you know, like It's a lot of aspects in colors. So first, yes, that's my style that I love, black and white. And also for this particular shoot, I think black and white works the best. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work well with color, but then, you know, like maybe we'll have more challenges with color shoots.
Okay.
I think I've sent the video.
Yes.
Okay, this is one of them.
Nice. Ya mukanya still tapi tangan kamu boleh gerak-gerak. Very good. Okay, mukanya frontal. Frontal kamu.
This is Titi Raja Bintang. She's a drummer as well. That's why I placed one of the bass drum pedal on the table.
Matanya ke kamera deh. Kamu melihat
So normally this is a setup.
Iya mas, ke Mas Tommy ya? Enggak, ke kamera kamu. Okay, ready? Yes. Iya, yang kamera ya? Yes. Backgroundnya yang cahaya tadi deh, yang agak-agak backlight keren tuh ada flare gitu, nah ya.
So that's one of the typical setup that I do for the shoot.
Okay, there's a question also here. Is there a specific speed that you use?
Speed, I use aperture priority because the exposure changes. You know, as I said, I'm shooting outside near my garden. It depends on if it gets cloudy or not. So I don't want to focus in you know, switching the speed around. So I just put it on aperture priority so I can concentrate on just capturing the portraits.
Okay. Okay. Did you use a polarizer filter to cut the reflection from the iPad screen? There's no glare.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's one of the things I want to talk about with the reflection. Make sure that you're not facing. Make sure that behind you is not brighter than what's in front of you. Because if it's brighter, then it will definitely have a bit of reflection on your screen. So if you see the behind the scene video before, the garden is behind the iPad. So what's in front of the iPad is actually darker. That's why you don't get the reflection on the screen, on the iPad screen. So just make sure behind you it's not bright when you're shooting the screen.
Okay. Let's see who else. Jojo has a comment. Maybe it's just me, but do you have this awkward feeling that you're not having a connection with the subject, which I may be an essential factor in capturing, and I feel that I'm not fully being the one capturing the image? It's the new norm.
you know, it also depends on the person that you're capturing. You know, like if you have a connection or not. But I guess that's one of the challenges. You know, in portraiture. You know, to have that connection. How do you establish a connection with your subject? So that's why photography is an art form where no two can be the same. You know, like you can have the same camera, same lens, you know, like same approach, but when it's a different person taking it, it might have a different feel. You know, like a different connection, different feel, and it will show in the in the result in the photograph. And I think that's why photography is very unique. You know, like it doesn't matter if you have the same exact lighting, equipment, and everything. It depends on how you're taking it and who's taking it. So it's a unique art form. So yeah, I think you can work on it a bit more, you know, like to connect with your subject, and whatever result it is your own. So
Okay.
just keep exploring.
Question from Pak Jerry: do you keep archive? So your archive to keep is JPEG for black and white, or do you also keep the DNG?
I actually shoot in JPEG. I like to make sure that all my shots are as how I want it before the shooting start. So all the settings and everything, I make sure that they're precisely how I want it. That's why I shoot in JPEG. Unless it's for commercial shoot, then I shoot RAW. But then for personal projects and for portraits like this, I just use the JPEG. So it's just the black and white that's off from the camera. I know that what Jerry means that if I shoot in DNG, then the color is still safe. But no, I only shoot in JPEG.
Question from Ruby Cahyadi. Hi, have you ever tried to use back lens camera?
Use what was that? Sorry.
Back lens camera. Back lens. Lensa belakang.
Oh, back lens. Okay, of their camera, yeah. No, I haven't actually, because I remember trying it first. You know, like when the subject used the back of their lens, right? That's what you mean, instead of the selfie camera. It's hard for them to position. It's hard for them to position where they are in the frame, and it's hard for them to communicate with us. So I don't use that for any of this shoot. But that is actually a good point. Maybe we can try having the back lens of the camera and then communicate with them from a different display, different screen. Maybe if they have two phones or one iPad or a laptop and the other one is a phone, that one can use the back lens and the other one can be used for them to look at themselves and to communicate with us. Maybe that could be an approach, but up until now I haven't used that, because when I tried that once, it's hard for them to position where they are in the frame, and also to communicate, it's harder. I know why you asked that, because the back lens is a much better quality in the phone. So yeah, I think there could be something that can be explored.
Okay. Okay. Pak Bambang is trying to send an image. Pak, can you please send it to our Instagram and tag? Maybe nanti akan di-post. Question from Jason: how do you decide what props to put in the foreground and background? Does the prop fit with the person character, or is just to remove the negative space?
Yeah, some are to remove the negative space, like the flowers, and some, like I said, just a subtle thing that remind me of the person. Like this particular one that we're looking at, it's a pedal for the bass drum of Titi, because he's a female drummer. Yes, he's a drummer as well, and yeah. That's
Ini foto dari Pak Bambang dari Jogja. Thank you, Pak.
I placed. Thank you. Thank you for the image. That's nice. Yeah, I try to put when you put the props, also think about whether in front of you is very bright. So if you put the image there, will it be a silhouette? You know, if it's a silhouette, the prop, then you want something that has a nice shape. You know, like maybe if you have little statues or whatever that have a nice shape to make it look like a nice silhouette. So it depending on your setting, depending on your lighting condition, what sort of thing do you want? Do you want the image to show what it is, or do you like this the pedal there for the bass drum is semi silhouette because in front of me is very bright and you can see the shape straight away. So yeah, try different things around the house, but if it's gonna be a silhouette, make sure it's nothing that is just a block or something, you know, like make sure that it has a nice shape. Even a transparent candle holders maybe, so the light can come through. Yeah, I suggest maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes before your shoot, you do the trial and error and you try to rearrange things and then test shoot the foreground and background to make sure that you get what you want. So when the screen is on and you're already talking to the person, everything's already ready. You know, the settings, your cameras, and everything. So they don't wait around for you to fiddle around with the props or your setting in the camera, because that can be a bit what do you call it? A bit tiring for them to wait around.
Okay. There's a question. I only have a Leica 2. Can I do it also? I think so. You can crop the Leica 2 lens to 50 millimeter.
She has the what? Sorry.
Leica Q2.
Oh yeah. Of course
Yeah.
you can use that because that's a 28 millimeter. You can use the internal cropping into 35, 50, and 75, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, for the Q2.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can capture the whole thing in 28 millimeter and then you do the cropping later on. But yeah, Q2 is a very good camera and very good images. And it gives you that depth as well if you use foreground and background. Like the image before from Jogja ya tadi ya, someone's shared, you know, like Pak Bambang. Thank you for that. It shows the background as well, so that's why it makes it look more dynamic and tells the story. You know what you're doing. How is this photographs tell the story? You know, instead of just shooting the screen. But you know, for fun, you know, do what you want. You know, shoot the screen as well. But if you want to tell the story, then maybe make that illusion of depth as well.
Okay. Do you use flash for this photo? I think you answered this previously. Mostly natural light. Yeah.
No, it's all natural, mostly natural light.
But you can always
it's all actually natural light.
But you can always explore.
You can always explore. You can always explore with fill-in light, maybe on your prop, or maybe if you're indoors, and you can use artificial light. And also your subject, you can suggest to them, you know, to use one of those LED lights. Or actually, I want to show you one with one artificial light. I think there's a slide there, Jack, of an actress. Her name is Clara Bernadette. I think it's the third one, if I'm not mistaken. No. Yes, this one. Not the. Keep going. Keep going. Going. Yeah, this one, that one before.
This?
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this girl. I think there's another image of her looking at the camera.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah, with that particular shoot, I think the sun was the sun was sort of covered by clouds and it was a bit dark. That's why she offered to use one of those ring lights that she has. Maybe she used to put makeup on or something. And yeah, it turned out to be good. Ada Jack tadi yang tadi image-nya.
Tunggu lagi cari.
Okay. Yeah. So you can explore. You know, sometimes it's good too to put a fill-in light, especially if you're close to the person you're shooting. I think it's good to explore. You know, try this, try that. You know, just have fun with it. I can see Wita. Wita, how are you?
There's a question, Tom, from
You haven't asked
TV
questions.
Fania. Is there anyone to help the model to be like human tripod during any of these projects? I guess
Yeah,
not.
this one. See how it's.
Because
So
you allow them to move.
Yeah, usually they put it on a shelf or something. You know, they have to find something to put it. It's best if it's eye level. So it's you know, it can look distorted. So they have to put the camera, or I mean their phone eye level. So yeah, just make sure before you shoot them, you talk to them first, you know, of the things that they need, maybe a tripod or a shelf or whatever, so they're prepared as well. So you don't waste time during the call. Yeah, like this lighting, you know, you can tell it's artificial because it's in a room. It's in her room, and the lights are a bit crispier than the ones than the other ones. So it's a good approach too to use artificial lighting.
Okay, so there's Payuda wants to share. By the way, another share from a session last week. The model happens to have an iPhone 11 Pro Max and an Oppo F7. We tried both phones front cam through Google Duo with same lighting and angle, and the Oppo result actually looked better than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The white balance and the exposure is more correct. I guess it's the AI that makes the difference. Yep.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. I guess it depends on the screen and on their selfie cam as well, how good it is. So what we can capture is what the images that we can receive from them. So yeah, that's the tricky part. That's why these shoots are all look different, you know, like different lighting approach and everything. So what's important is the storytelling and how creative you want it to look.
Ada yang mau komen, ada yang mau tanya, any questions, any comments? I think we are coming close to the end. Please unmute yourself and share your your comments with
Hi.
Tommy and the rest. Hi, go ahead,
Can I
please.
comment a little bit?
Sure, go
Hi, I
ahead.
just want to say, I just want to say, I'm most interesting about shooting at distance. Is Tommy's photos, because it creates more another medium, and then it creates illusions that the picture is sharper than it's supposed to, because it's kind of hard to take pictures with just phone, right? Phone or iPad. It will not be as sharp as we want. So I think like the foreground and the background, it makes like the picture is more clearer, more sharper. I think for me that's it. And then I try it, and then one of the key is earpods, earpods, so you can direct the models more clearly. It's easier.
Okay.
Yeah, earpods is key.
Yeah. Do you have an image to share? Maybe we can have a look.
How do I share it? Wait. Oh, maybe in my background. Wait.
I'm
Let's
interested to have
see.
a look.
Okay. Wait. Can you see? Oh, wait. Can you see it?
Okay. Yes, that's
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I have another one.
It's very nice.
Okay.
Wow, that's good. Is that outdoor? You shot that outdoor?
Yeah, this one is outdoor, and I have one that's indoor because I really like Star Wars. So there.
Okay.
Made the part yesterday.
That is
What?
nice. So you
Yeah, may
you
the
can
force
be
be
as
with you.
creative as you want.
Yeah, things like that.
And
He
with
was like
you,
looking at the
that is
bikini
nice.
Leia. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep exploring, and thank you for sharing
Thank
the
you for
nice
sharing.
photos.
Yeah. Thank
Tommy,
you.
can I ask a question?
Hi, Pa.
I've noticed that all your photos, the iPads are all frontal, right? I mean, they are parallel to your sensor plane. Have you ever tried the one with the iPad angle?
Angle. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that question, but
Angle.
So maybe the iPad is not perfectly frontal, but a bit angled, so that you can play around with the depth of field. You see what I'm saying? I noticed all your photos are all.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've tried that, but I think it's best. I find that for this particular concept, for me to have a frontal approach, so that the model can turn around a different angle from their phone, but from my point of view, I want it to be fixed with the same foreground and the same background, because when I start switching angles, then the image on the screen won't be it will be a bit distorted, I think, and also the background will change, and I think it will get a bit messy. So I try to keep it in the same sort of composition. It's their camera that I try to change around. Tell them to angle the camera, like because it's different when we're switching what do you call it, angles. It doesn't really make a difference in terms of how we capture them. It's just how we capture our surrounding that's different. So it's best if you, I thought, if you direct the person to angle their camera to get the different approach. But maybe you can try. I've seen that is a good question, because I've seen some people shoot it, like a low angle, like the screens up there. It looks good as well. I think it's worth trying.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
okay. Any other questions?
Any other people wanna ask or share?
Andrew Tubroto says, Bang, I will do a virtual shoot again tomorrow. but the model's phone is an old Oppo. If I use Zoom, will it be good or not?
Can I?
Hey Pak, Pak
Mr.
Bambang.
Bernard?
Malam Pak.
Yes.
Silakan.
Bob, how are you? Fine.
Yeah.
I
Hi,
have
how are you,
tried-
Pat?
I just tried to did what your lesson was. I shared to you before. I found that if we are using handphone, it's too small, isn't it? Because the screen is too small. Then
The screen, yeah.
yeah, the screen is too small. I
Yes.
think, and I used my Noctilux 50 millimeter before at the 0.95.
Mhm.
I think that's become too small. The screen. Do you
I can
recommend
imagine.
that we always use iPad, for example, or one question in if we are using like MacBook, for example,
Mhm.
how uh, to hide the foreground of the laptop? Do you put something else?
Mm.
So that's just to show the screen only. Have you the sample to use the Mac, for example, or a laptop?
Okay, thanks for the question, Pak Bambang. Firstly, I think I think a phone for to capture is too small, right? Especially if you are capturing background and foreground as well. So I recommend you using iPad, which is more flexible. You can turn the screen. But if you want to use laptop and not having to show that it's a laptop, my suggestion maybe you can put props around it, like maybe flowers or maybe what do you call it? Uh, a shawl or something around it, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
if you shoot wide open, they will become a bit blur as well anyway. So it could be an artistic approach. You know, you don't make it to block the what do you call it, the keyboard or whatever, but you make it so that it is your concept, you know, to put like flowers around the screen or whatever, and then you shoot it. That's if you're using laptop, but iPad is I think my best approach, as it's flexible and the display is really good. But yeah, if you're shooting your phone, I think it's way too small. But if that's all you have, then it's okay. Be creative with it. You know, like maybe put it somewhere in the garden, the phone. Yeah, just try to find a way to explore, I suppose.
Okay, thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Abama.
Ya, terima kasih.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, then I guess we'll quickly end this because it's getting a bit late. We passed an hour. But thank you, Tommy. Thank you for your time.
No.
Thank you for your sharing. Maybe you want to share. Yeah? Is that your Instagram?
Yes, that's my Instagram. Please keep in touch with me, and I would love to see your shots as well. If you want to tag me on one of your virtual shoots, you know, shooting from a distance, and also if you want to use the hashtag, you're more than welcome to, you know, shooting from a distance, the hashtag. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening and for
thank you everyone
for your time, and
thank you, Pak Robert.
for
Thank you,
being
Pak
here,
Diki, everyone.
and
Thank you, Pak Tommy.
Thank
thank
you
you
ya.
everyone. All
Selamat
the
malam
Terima kasih,
semuanya.
Okay.
Terima kasih. Stay
Thank you,
healthy.
Tom.
Stay well. Thank you.
terima kasih
Okay.
semuanya. Thank
Terima
you.
kasih.
Hopefully that
Terima
it's
kasih.
useful.
Thank
All right.
you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you guys.
Thank you
Keep in
all.
touch. Keep in touch in Instagram. So.
Yeah.
Good to
bentar,
see you all.
Tom.
Be
Maybe
safe.
we
Take care.
stay
Be safe.
after for a while. Pak Diki, makasih Pak. Selamat malam. Pak Jerry. Maybe we stay
Thank you, Bernard.
for a while.
Thank you.
Stay fit. Stay
Thank you, Pak
fit and
Jerry.
healthy. Stay creative. So I hope you guys will share your photos with me soon.
We recorded this. Ntar kalau mau bisa di extract.
Yang kemarin-kemarin sih udah di post di Facebook.
Yeah, we should announce that sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kalau Instagramnya di private gimana?
Kenapa?
IG-nya private.
Emang nggak bisa ya? Kalau di tag kan bisa juga ya?
I don't think so.
Nggak bisa
I think
kelihatan.
I tag you. Yeah.
Ya, nggak
That's
bisa.
out of my
If you
zone.
tag, maybe I can see.
Ya,
No,
even you tag.
no, you cannot.
Ada Andrew from Melbourne.
Mas Tom, I have a question.
What time is it in Melbourne?
Now it's
Yeah.
12 a.m.
Wow.
Jam 12 a.m. di Melbourne. Iya.
Oh,
Kita
wow.
beda 3 jam.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
Gak apa-apa, Bang. Kalau nggak dikasih tahu semalam, saya nggak tahu.
Tadi ada pertanyaan
Mas Tom,
dari
Yes, silakan.
Oh yeah, yes.
This is after party.
virtual photoshoot,
After party.
virtual photoshoot
Yes,
ini
sure.
jadi advantage, kita bisa foto orang di luar negeri dengan gampang kan ya? Halo?
Ya.
Ah.
Tommy agak lag sedikit.
Sorry, agak putus.
Ya.
Halo?
Ya, tolong diulang aja pertanyaannya.
Ini kan virtual photoshoot jadi advantage buat kita kan, bisa foto di luar negeri sama teman kita misalnya. Cuman kan jadi perbedaannya ada time difference. Ada time difference yang jadi kendala.
Yes.
Tadi kan sempat disebut waktu
Yes.
yang bagus tuh waktu yang jam 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. So, jadi itu depend waktunya si modelnya atau gimana ya untuk nanganinnya itu? Soalnya tadi barusan saya coba, memang agak tricky.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Yang aku bilang from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. it's best for my setup di sini ya, my setup here. But if it's time difference, I shot someone in Germany actually. Time difference-nya waktu itu berapa ya? Sama
6
Germany,
hours.
I think 5 hours.
5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
6 hours, yeah. I still I adjusted to the convenience of their lighting there. Jadi sebisa mungkin yang as much as possible a good light there and still okay here. So if it's here kan sunset is about 6. So if you can get it before 6 o'clock, whatever time it is there, I think it's still good. But otherwise, if it's nighttime here and they can only do it daytime there because of the time difference, then you just have to use a different approach, like indoor, maybe use some lighting. It's still okay. You still can do it, because of the time difference.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, Tom, we won't take much of your time. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good evening. We'll hope to see you all in our next session again. Pak Andrew, nanti kita undang lagi ya yang dari Melbourne.
Boleh,
semua.
boleh.
Thank
Terima
you Pak
kasih.
Tommy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
you,
semuanya.
Bang.
Good
Terima
night
kasih
all.
for your
Thank you.
time.
Good
Thank you
night.
for being here.
Malam.
Thank you for
Thank you
joining, guys.
Selamat
all.
malam.
Selamat
Bye.
malam.
Thank
Stay
you, Bang.
safe, stay fit,
Yep.
stay
Ya, you
healthy.
You
too.
too.
You too.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Bernard.
Terus
Thank
malas
you,
pada
Win.
cabut
Thank
gitu.
you,
Thank you,
Tommy.
Leika.
Thank you. Yuk,
Masih
makasih.
malas pada cabut.
Bye.
Kayaknya kita masih dikasih waktu untuk exercise, and then kita Pak Tommy jadi modelnya gitu kan, selama ini dia jadi fotografer gitu.
2 bulan udah gak ngapa-ngapain dah. Gak jelas.
Benar.
Siapa
This is
tahu
what-
Thank
ada
you,
yang
ya.
mau posting, kan fotografer jarang-jarang di foto kan.
Iya,
Oh,
boleh
iya.
juga loh. Boleh juga loh.
Kita hunting
Tinggal
foto
pakai-
modelnya Bang Tommy.
Betul, setuju. Bikin
Okay,
Zoom
thank you,
meeting
thank
lagi.
you. We'll end the meeting here.
Thank you semua.
Terima kasih.
Okay,
Selamat malam.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Take care.
Thank you, Bang.
Bye.
See you.